Hi, everyone. This is Jackie Cooper with the Maryland Blockchain Association, and we are here today for the DeCharge Lunch and Learn. It is going to be extremely interesting and rewarding for everyone who is on this Lunch and Learn because of the fact that this is an industry that is definitely making progress within the environmental area and the blockchain area. A little bit about the Maryland Blockchain Association. We are a nonprofit group that focuses on advocacy for those within the industry as well as those for consumers. And we're all about educating about the innovative tech that is happening within our space because it is happening fast and there's a lot of great applications to include what we're going to be talking about today. So if you are interested in learning more, definitely go over to the Maryland Blockchain Association's website. And we are today partnering with DeCharge and the Maryland Task Force on Blockchain and Innovative Tech, which is a statewide task force. So that way everyone can learn more about how they can participate in a green business with using blockchain. And so again, this session will allow everyone to understand more about EV charging stations and how they can become a host and also earn income from doing that. So today, I would like to have my participants also talk more.
All right. Thank you, Jackie. Hi, everyone. My name is Omri Gross. Until recently, I was a senior clearance and policy advisor for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. I took the federal buyout actually in February after 15 years in regulatory compliance and have since been working with DeCharge to expand their U.S. operations, particularly here in Maryland and the DMV area. But also all across the states. That's just one of our beginning focuses is this area. Today, we have the wonderful Jackie Cooper from the Maryland Blockchain Association, which we are super thankful for hosting this event. We also have myself as a DeCharge US Growth Lead. We have Mohan Ponada, DeCharge founder with us. We also have Gilberto Nazario, a DeCharge host from Maryland. And Farin Jackson, our DeCharge sales and growth lead for the DMV area. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. All right, so what is DeCharge?
Imagine a world.
My apologies.
So at its core, DeCharge is a community-owned EV charging network that enables any property owner to host chargers and benefit from contributing to a more robust and user-owned and operating charging grid. So here's a quick 1-minute video that captures the essence of what we're building and growing here in the United States and across the globe.
Every journey begins with confidence. Not with worry, not with doubt, but with the certainty that you'll reach your destination. In this world, power isn't centralized. It's everywhere, in your neighbor's driveway, at the corner cafe. Every connection builds possibility. Every installation expands the network. Picture a future where energy flows through our cities like a digital river, powering not just cars, but dreams. What if you can do all of this today? Get yourself a DeCharge Beast today and start earning from day one.
All right. So yeah, so you can think of DeCharge as the Airbnb for EV chargers. You install one, and every time someone plugs in, you earn. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so yeah, so DeCharge. Again, think of it as the Airbnb for EV charging. So right now, so why is DeCharge necessary, right? So right now, EV adoption is growing at a breakneck speed, but the charging infrastructure isn't even close to keeping up. So this has created a growing gap between adoption and infrastructure that results in poor coverage, range anxiety, and endless wait times for charging. In the US, currently, there's approximately 1 charger for every 40 electric vehicles. So imagine just waiting for another 39 vehicles to charge before you can get to a charger. So Maryland alone also needs thousands of new chargers to meet its stated climate and transportation goals from the state level and the local level. The gaps aren't just on highways, they're in neighborhoods, workplaces, small businesses, and community centers. The traditional top-down build-outs that we've been seeing from the big EV charging conglomerates are too slow and expensive. So instead of waiting for big utilities or corporations to build out coverage across the country and take all the profit, we're empowering everyday people such as homeowners, businesses, churches, malls, nonprofits to own a piece of the infrastructure, host a charger, and earn from every charge. That's why our bottom-up, community-driven approach works. It scales faster, it spreads the ownership, and it keeps the income local. Okay, so DeCharge works because it aligns incentives across all participants. So hosts earn money by providing access. Drivers get reliable, easy to find charging. And installers, electricians, get steady work in their communities. And we've built the platform so everything from payment to map discoverability is handled seamlessly. So how can you participate? So you can either become a host, which involves buying or leasing a charger for your property, installing it at your property, and earning every time it's used. Or if you're a licensed electrician, you can also join as an installer. So we're building a trusted network of local electricians who get matched to install jobs in their area and earn off of those jobs. Okay, so up next, we have a video, or we have a message from our founder. But before that, I just wanted to let everybody know that we are doing a DeCharge Beast charger giveaway. So this is our level 2 charger. We have multiple different chargers, but really today we're going to be talking about the level 2 Beast charger. And we're doing, there's an ongoing Beast charger giveaway. We'll be giving away a free level 2 Beast charger to one lucky host that signs up for this event via our interest form on decharge.us on our website, which is at decharge.us. We have interest forms for both hosts and electricians where you can just sign up. It's 5 questions. And basically, sign up to get some more information, to have us contact you and kind of continue the discussion. Everybody that signs up on this form between now and September 19th, or up until September 19th, will be entered into this giveaway, right? So you have a chance to win a free Beast charger, and we're going to be announcing the winner on September 19th. So you have until that date to sign up. So just let everybody anybody that's interested, any hosts, any electricians that are interested, send them that link, scan this QR code. They can also get to it at decharge.us. And then on September 19th, which is next Friday, we will announce the winner. We'll announce it on Twitter, and then we'll also email the winner within 48 hours. So again, please share with anyone else that might be interested. And again, that host and installer form, you can either scan the QR code on the screen, or it can be found on our decharge.us website. Okay, so now I will turn it over to our founder, Mohan Kuldeep-Ponnada, to touch on where the project is at the moment, where we're going, and what that means for hosts and installers. Go ahead, Mohan. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's really good moderation. So thank you for that. Amazing. So yes, thank you for having me over. Thanks for this amazing meetup. I really appreciate it and appreciate everyone who's on this. I'm currently in Bangalore and it's 2 a.m. I was so excited to be a part of this conversation that I could not sleep, to be honest. And I'm really glad I'm here. So this is going to be like a very interesting heart to heart, I guess. So we're doing really well at DeCharge, and I'm thrilled that we are also working with fantastic partners and teams and colleagues in the US, especially in the Maryland Blockchain Association. We have Gilbert, we have FJ, we have Orande, we have Omri, of course, doing all of the amazing stuff, and the rest of the team. Uh, so I won't take too much time, but I'll probably just give you a rough idea on what we're building and where we are headed and why this is a really good opportunity for all of us and why you should be a part of it. And for those of you from the installer network, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for your time. So what we're doing as DCharge, like Omri already mentioned, is we are building a very profitable, decentralized charging infrastructure network. Basically, that's our mission, right? There is a unprecedented demand for electric infrastructure. The electric vehicles are growing. The adoption of electric vehicles are growing at a rate that we have never seen in the past. The last 2 years have been amazing, and the last 6 months have been exceptional. So there is, in some locations, you won't believe me, there is one charger for every 144 vehicles. So imagine waiting for 144 vehicles to charge before you get a chance, right? So we're trying to fill that gap, but I don't think we don't see it through the lens of a gap. I see it as a lens of an opportunity. It's a really big economic opportunity for all the participants in the ecosystem, because the electric revolution is as a chance for us to have a fresh start, to build something from the ground up. We are never going to have this opportunity ever again in the future, because when the fuel stations were built, maybe 40, 50 years ago, we were not around and we did not get a chance to build it. And it took 40 years to get to where they are. But most of the houses that we're going to live in 2045 have not even begun construction. So think of the opportunity that exists. And by that time, in the next 5 years, we're expecting to have 200 million vehicles. Now imagine 1:113, 1:140 ratio, and it's there. You'll be out pretty much never being able to charge, right? So, and this industry cannot wait for 20 years to mature. It's really difficult to mature, to wait. So the answer is to look at it from an economic prosperity perspective and make sure that we provide a platform that allows individual homeowners, just like Airbnb, to participate in the digital electric economy. And we call that as electric capital markets, right? So if you have a space, if you have a electricity connection, that's all it's needed, like one parking lot and one electricity connection, and everything else is doable. Our chargers are plug and play, and anyone who has, now I think all of the houses that are being built are coming with a NEMA 1450 or a NEMA 650 plug point. Our chargers are, home chargers are 240 and 48 amps. So it's very easy to install. It could be plug and play. And what we allow people to do is to participate in the economy. So instead of the big corporations coming in and extracting all the value for themselves, now we allow the local communities to extract this value from the ecosystem within the community. So all of those, let's say your local Shell or local fuel station is making $5 million a year in revenue. The same mobility aspect of $5 million will be distributed across these shareholders in the same area. People will not stop moving. Now, that's one big opportunity. The bigger economic opportunity is the installation network. So what we're trying to do is, again, instead of having these centralized companies who are extracting all of this value, we want to provide this platform for installation partners who will be the first points of contact for us whenever we get a lead from this very, very large ecosystem, and we are growing super fast. In the last week, we have probably installed close to 70 fast chargers and over 150 chargers in like last 5 to 7 days. So the opportunity itself is really mind-boggling. We are a global company, so we're playing this at a global scale. But we are inviting the installation network to come on board and be the first to do this, because the electricians, the installation infrastructure layer, and the property owners will be the first to make money, first to earn and first to be economically prosperous in this process. So basically what you will be doing and through this platform will be empowering anybody who has a space to become a charging host. And this is sort of becoming like a new revenue stream that you don't have to probably go elsewhere and start looking for work. You will already have like a steady flow of leads that we provide where you just go and install. And that will probably just fill up your day. Hopefully it will be enough to create like a really big upside for all of the people. And the biggest win is that installation, the leaders who start installing this infrastructure right now are probably positioning themselves as the go-to experts for this particular market, and it will only keep growing. So you will become the go-to experts because this is going to be the trend moving forward. It is going to be decentralized, and it's going to keep popping over across the country. And in your area, you could be the growing expert, right? The way we should look at it is probably for the installers, it's like thinking of building a portfolio of assets that pays back month on month by being participating in this network of ecosystem. So the and we have seen from our existing partnerships with installation networks that early movers often end up owning the most valuable parts of this ecosystem. That will be very interesting. I have a lot to talk about. I can probably go on for till the morning, but I would pause now. But again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I am looking forward to the rest of the program. Thank you, everyone.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mohan, for taking the time to join us today. I know it's very late for you in your time zone at the moment, so we really appreciate your time. Okay, so now we'll hear from Gilberto Nazario, who recently had a charger installed at his home in Maryland and will provide an overview of what it means to be a host. So go ahead, Gilberto, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Omri. Thank you, Jackie, for assembling this learning luncheon. And thank you, Mohan, for also being here, FJ and Orande and all the participants. My name is Gilberto Nazario. Like Omri, I also left the Department of Defense or the Federal Service in the past years. Currently serving as the Maryland chapter president for organization called Stand With Crypto. And last week I joined the DeCharge team as a host. So I want to share some insights of what being a host looks like and what type of hosts are available, and provide you some insight that will maybe spark some curiosity and will like you to come participate in the ecosystem as well. So when we say host, pretty much everyone who's willing to put a charger on their property is could be eligible, right? Whether you're a homeowner with a driveway or you're a small business with a coffee shop, restaurant, barber shop, right? Whether you're a church or a real estate company that manages some spaces, large commercial sites like apartment buildings, retail centers, parking lot, those all qualify as potential types of hosts. And that is what's great about the DeCharge approach, that is just not limited to the big players. It allows everybody with a spot or with interest of participating to become a member of the ecosystem. So whether you have a spot or not, you can still come in and be part of the DeCharge family. So that for me was very interesting, and that attracted my interest into becoming a host. So if you like to become a host, there's some things to consider, and I will share my experience as a host, right? You want to have reliable parking. If you have a charger in your location, you want to make sure your potential customers or people that are going to come charge in your house have easy access in and out without blocking anyone, right? You want to make sure this is visible and accessible, right? And of course, I'll get into that in a minute, but that will be pretty much very easy to do once you see and you're register in the app, which we'll get there in a second. You want to make sure it's safe and well lit, because you want to make sure the safety of both the property owner and the driver. remains first. And you want to consider, right, if you have a regular activity around your area, this potentially is very good for you. In my particular example, I'm next to a big commercial lot that only has two chargers, and those two chargers are always busy. So that's what draw me to add a charger in my location. So all this, but everything that I mentioned above, all these little factors could contribute for your site to obviously make more revenue and extra income just simply because of more traffic, more availability, and more accessibility. As far as the install, pretty straightforward installation. The install is similar to hooking up a 240 volt appliance, such as like a washing machine, dryer machine. Installs, most they can just take a few hours by a licensed electrician. Particularly, mine is in my row home, and fits perfectly in my garage, next to my garage door, with no limitation of opening or closing. And the way that the setup, at least in my location, right? But the device, the cable, charging cable is long enough, so no matter how you park the car, that charger will have that car will have that cable will reach the charging point. So once it's installed and once it's powered up, the activation is pretty quick. The charger goes live on the DeCharge platform, and you start earning every time as somebody uses your charger. And this information is publicly available too, so you'll be able to track and see this charges usage as it goes live. As far as like discoverability, the minute you install that charger, you don't have to worry about, as a space provider or customer, to the technical requirements to get the charger discovered. DeCharge will immediately take help care of all that entails making that charger discoverable on the multiple platforms that are there available, to include PlugShare, Google Maps, and other third-party applications. So most EV chargers are very aware of all the applications are, and again, with the partnership that DeCharge and the team of DeCharge will make sure that your location is easily discoverable, and EV owners can find you easily. So from a host perspective, it's plug and earn. You're visible, discoverable, and part of a growing network without really doing extra work. So I recommend that if you're interested, that you stay tuned in, and you obviously participate in that free beast level 2 beast raffle. And right now, I'd like to hand it back to Omri and to talk about site requirements and installation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gil. Really appreciate your time today and for giving us the perspective from the host side as well. I know you have a last minute flight to catch today. So, and again, we really appreciate you making the time to join us today. So yeah, feel free if you need to log off, we totally understand.
Thank you.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much, Gil. Next, I'll talk a bit about site requirements and installation before handing it over to FJ to touch on the sales and deployment process. So we can go to the next slide. Okay, so in terms of the install process and requirements and the type of power you need, so the Beast, which is what we're talking about today, we actually have 3 different chargers. We have a mini charger, which is more for like 2-wheelers. This is very popular in like areas like India. Then we have the level 2 charger, which is kind of like the mid-tier one. And that's the one that runs on a standard 240-volt line. This is for just general, electric vehicles. And then we also deal with superchargers, right? These are like the high value, very fast charging chargers that are usually used in like commercial sites. But today we're really focusing on the Beast, which is the level 2 charger, which means it runs on a standard 240-volt line. And as Gil mentioned, this is the same kind of power your washer or dryer uses. So all you need as a host is a dedicated parking spot for drivers to come and park and charge, space near your electrical panel for a breaker, a sturdy surface to mount the charger on. This could be a wall in the garage or just outside the garage, like in Gil's situation. And strong Wi-Fi connectivity at the site, right? So we want it to be closer to the property, closer to the house, right? Where the Wi-Fi, where the router is, so that we actually have the Wi-Fi connectivity, because that's how it connects. So as far as the installation and the time frame, after getting an electrician out for an initial assessment, a licensed electrician can usually have a Beast installed in just a few hours. For most homes or small businesses, it's a same-day project, as it was for Gilberto. He was able to get an assessment and then get it installed in one day. So most electricians can do this, in a few hours. Now, as far as cost considerations, the install costs are generally straightforward and affordable. Most hosts are able to get their chargers installed for a few $100s, depending on their site setup. And there's also federal and state rebates, which can lower the cost even further, including a federal EV tax credit for up to 30% of the cost of the hardware and install. So that's huge. And that's actually been extended until June 2026. So whereas a lot of different incentives and tax credits are being discontinued at the end of the year, this federal, so the entire countrywide federal EV tax credit for up to 30% of the cost of the hardware and the installation has been extended by this administration until June 2026. So got plenty of time to take advantage of that 30% credit, essentially, right, for the cost of hardware and install for EV chargers. And once the charger is live, you're earning revenue from every charging session. Now, as far as activation, right, so as soon as your charger is powered on, as Gilberto mentioned, our team will help you activate it on our network and make sure it's discoverable on all the popular EV charging maps. So from day one, drivers can find you, plug in, and you start earning off of every charging session. So for hosts, adding a Beast charger is as simple as adding a new appliance. It's a quick install, low upfront costs for the installation, and immediate income potential. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to FJ to talk about the sales and deployment process. So next slide, and go ahead, FJ.
Awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. Omri, thanks so much for hosting this. Jackie, Mohan, everybody that's here. I know Gil had to hop off, but just appreciate the opportunity to share our excitement with everybody about what's going on with DeCharge. So anybody at this point that's interested in becoming a host, listen, it's super simple for you to actually, I don't want to say apply, right? But just submit your information so that we can make sure that you're a good fit, right? If you just go to DeCharge.us. It's only a 5-question interest form to fill out. And again, that just makes sure we understand if you want to be a host or if you want to be an installer, or kind of what role you want to play in this infrastructure. And remember, right, you fill it out today. Between today and the next 7 days, September 19th, you're automatically entered into our Beast Charger giveaway. So don't dally. If you want to get one, you can actually win one for free. So after you submit it, right, I'll follow up with you. You're going to have ongoing support. We're going to make sure that your site fits the requirements for us to be able to actually install and you to be able to profit. We're going to get the coordinations together. And again, we're going to activate and register you on the map so that you're instantly discoverable. At no point in the process will you be on your own. We're all in this together. Now, you have two options if you're interested in hosting a machine, a beast. You can either purchase it outright, and that actually guarantees you a little bit more money on the back end, or you actually have the option to lease it, right? Pay one fixed price for a year. And then if at the end of the year you want to return the beast, then you get your deposit back, but you also have the option to keep it going for another year, right? Both models are designed to fit different type of budgets and different type of hosts, regardless if you're a homeowner or small business owner, or if you have a community organization like a church or something like that, we got your back. So this is the next step. If you're interested, if you like what you heard today, if you feel like you want to get involved, or, you know, even just kind of see if your home fits and qualifies before you decide to get involved, all you have to do is, again, go to decharge.us. You can see it right there under host /
Yeah, and
installer interest
Jackie,
form.
sorry to interrupt you, FJ. Jackie, if you could just go to the next slide, I think we have that in the QR code. But yeah, sorry, so sorry, FJ. Keep going.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. So yeah, that's even easier. Just scan the QR code if you're interested. Fill out the installer form. We actually got some stuff on Twitter you can check out. You can check out that video on YouTube. We're going to be posting updates. We're actually going to announce the winner on Twitter, and we're going to also email them. But again, you only have 7 days, right? You only have the next 7 days. I know it seems like a long way away, but you know how people are, right? We'll be like, oh, I want to do it. I'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow never comes. So if you're really interested, go ahead and sign up right now. It's no need to risk not winning a free charger, right? And that's really it, right? This is your chance to get involved in the next big thing, right? We can already see how big EVs are. So if you can be involved in the infrastructure of helping grow that, it's going to benefit your pocket ginormously. And also it's going to just benefit the community around us, right? Because that's what it's all about. This is a community-driven project. We all want to help each other individually grow together. So let's do it. Back to you, Omri.
So I also just want to mention that by using the MDBA referral code, you actually get a discount on any of the chargers that you might be purchasing. And also then the association also benefits as well. So it's another way that we can continue our educational outreach. So it ends up being a win-win for everyone in terms of helping the community. And also you're stepping into the world of electronic vehicle charging with blockchain as the information behind it all.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely use the MDBA referral code. Get a discount on the charger. And thank you so much, FJ, for that great overview of the sales process. FJ is just fantastic. So anybody that signs up wants to learn more, you're in great hands. So I think now we are ready to maybe open it up for questions. And we'll also, flash back to, as we're doing questions, we can flash back to the last slide just to make sure that we got the QR code up there. But yeah, anybody feel free, come off mute. I don't know, Jackie, if you need to enable everybody to come off mute. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. Feel free to come off mute. We will help answer those questions. Whether you're an installer, an electrician, or an interested host. I know that we do, I think we have a couple of electricians on the call as well. So we might be able to lean on their expertise as well. But yes, if anybody has any questions, please feel free. Now's the time.
Or if you'd like, you can do a thumbs up and I can unmute you as well.
Okay, so we got a question from Angel. Thank you so much, Angel. So the question is, how do hosts charge the user? So that's a great question. And this is actually all done automatically. So when a driver comes up to the charger, there will be a QR code for them to scan. And that QR code will facilitate all of the payment. And Mohan, I don't know if you're still on here, but maybe you could talk a little bit more about how that payment process works. in a little bit more detail, if you're still on here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
we can hear you. Yes.
Great. Yeah. No, great question. It helps everyone. So basically, all the charging happens online. Okay, it's very simple to use. There's a QR code that it's just stuck on the charger, and whenever a user comes, they can scan the QR code, and they basically have a session. They can add their payment details like credit card, debit card through Stripe, right? And when they hit, once they're authenticated, they hit this. There's a button called Start, which starts the energy flow from the charger, and either they can just leave it there and auto stops when it's full, or they can choose to stop whenever they want to. And whenever they stop, depending on how much energy is consumed, it calculates the amount and direct debits it from the card that they have added. Or if they don't want to add a card prior, they can still choose to make the payment by adding, like just entering the details and finishing the transaction. Everything's done
Yeah.
online. There's no other intervention needed.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Mohan. And one thing to add here is that hosts have the ability to determine what price they want to charge for their energy, right? And you can determine that based on how much travel you get in the area. And DCharge will also provide some data based on our network on what the traffic profile is, right? How much other people are charging, right? So that the host can make an informed decision as to how much to charge, right, for their sessions, for their energy.
Yes. Yes.
And also hosts can choose when to have their charger available, right? So if, for instance, you don't want anybody charging at night, in your driveway, right, then you can set hours, right, ahead of time, or simply turn it on and off, right, so that it's not discoverable, so that people can't, find it and come and charge at your charger, right? So you have a lot of flexibility and liberty on how you want to run your charger. Very similar to Airbnb, right? So Airbnb, right? You set your price, right? You set the dates that it's available, right? And then you put it out there on the network, right? So very similar setup. Okay, so I think that answers from the customer side, what is the step to start charging? So we talked a little bit about that, the QR code. Is there an authorization code to start the charging session? So again, we do that through the QR code. Do you have a video that shows this process? So we do have videos. You can go to our website, and we also have a YouTube channel, and we're constantly putting videos on that, user videos, community videos, charging demos that we've done. So yeah, so you can find that. If you just go to our website, you can find links to our YouTube channel as well, and some other videos. And then we have a question for someone like me staying in an area where EVs are not dominant. How do I get to join this process and start earning? He says, I live in Nigeria, by the way. So Mohan, I think this is a great one for you to touch on, since I believe you were just in Africa. And I believe you had some interaction with Nigeria as well. So yeah, if you'd like to chime in on this, that'd be great.
It did again. Sorry, it just keeps muting itself.
That's okay.
So,
We'll unmute you.
yeah, no problem. So Taiwo, so it's a good question. I was in fact, we are actively deploying in Kenya, Tanzania, and Ethiopia, of these places. In Nigeria, you're welcome to work with us, send an inquiry, maybe just reach out. We'll see how we can get a charger up and running for you. But when you say that there's no density of charging, we have different types of chargers. One is the car charger. The other one is also like a two-wheeler charger. We can start with that. In fact, I think we have a couple of sites live in Nigeria with the Super Team Nigeria from Solana Super Team in Nigeria. So I can check with them and see if they still have more stock or they can ship it to you. Maybe we can figure something out. So do reach out to us. But the other way, if you don't see demand there, but okay, before we get there, you can still find demand in two-wheelers, like maybe delivery companies, like instant commerce, food delivery guys. All those use two-wheeler vehicles, which is big business for in India, which is growing really well. So that could be a space for you in Nigeria. But otherwise, if there's absolutely no demand for you, we are running a DeFi, Deep InFi pool. I've sent the link on the chat. You're welcome to go there and see how much you want to participate. It's a $150,000 pool, and we've like pretty much filled it up. It's oversubscribed, we're just doing KYC, so it should be like maybe done by today or tomorrow. This contributes towards setting up of like ultra fast DC chargers in high locations. So you can still be a part of the ecosystem and still earn through passive participation, where let's say you have a spare $10 or 100, whatever you feel like, you're welcome to join the pool and submit, and we deploy it on your behalf in high yield locations, and you get paid. You can pretty much earn from there. So these are the two options that you have.
Wonderful. Okay, and then another question. So do hosts have to capture customer details to produce a bill or a receipt for them? As far as the process goes, right, when you come up, you scan the QR code, there's nothing captured there. Mohan, I don't know if you can speak to on the app side, if there's anything that's captured there, but as as far as I'm aware, it's a no KYC transaction, right?
Yeah. Everything's done on the app. We don't need much details of the user at all. We just verify the phone number so that they have some authentication for the security of the host. Generally, when they come in and do it, we try to have their license photograph just so that we have from a security perspective. But the host doesn't even need to be around when this happens. It's all automated. They could just leave the charger in the driveway and switch it on whenever they want to. The users will come, park, charge themselves, pay on the app, and leave. It's just so simple like that. The host doesn't even need to be near the charger. And all of
Perfect.
this calculated through the charger itself has an inbuilt meter, and all transactions are written to a Hyperledger blockchain. Blockchain on Solana. So there's never going to be a missed payment or a tracking of it. So they get paid regardless based on ledger.
That's great. And once again, I just wanted to draw attention to the Refi Hub link that Mohan shared in the chat. Again, this is kind of like a community, crowdfunding, right, of a supercharging station in India. So again, this is just the power of blockchain, right? The ability to essentially crowdfund this deployment here and share in the yield, right? The benefits, right, that come from essentially being an investor, right, in this supercharging station. So super cool stuff. That Refi Hub investment pool is almost maxed out. It was a total of 150,000. I think it's at let's see here, 136,000 currently. Yeah. And that's only been open for a few days, so we're expecting that to close very soon here. Okay, so the next question is, do hosts have to register as a business entity in Maryland? If so, does DeCharge help with this process? So I think we could think about this the same way as we think of Airbnb, right? So you don't generally need to register as a business to run an Airbnb. And it's the same type of situation here for being a host for DeCharge. And Mohan, if you have anything else that you want to add to that, but yeah, I think in general, you could think of it as very similar to how Airbnb works.
Yeah, very similar. You're right. It's very similar to Airbnb. If you want to have another separate meter and electricity connection to track it so that you have expenses, if you want to offset your tax aspects, you can choose to have another business so your accounts are separate. But otherwise, you don't need. The host can just plug and play, and at the end of the week or end of the month, we just credit to the bank account that's on file. Basically, that's as simple as that.
Yep.
Omer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question. Hey, Mohan, good to see you again.
Yeah,
great, thanks. So I understand the Airbnb model. You turn it on and off as you see fit. However, I do know, there are certain chargers that will be installed in neighborhoods. And for those that know where they are, how is it? I don't want to say discouraged, but how do you address a person in the neighborhood that knows where a charger is, but the host, the host has not made it active for that time frame? So
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I know what you mean. You're saying that someone is regular there, they assume that, oh, there's a charger near the church, so I'll just go there and charge. But during that time, they might have switched it off because of whatever reason, right? That's what you're saying.
Right.
Generally, actually a good question, and it's probably something that we need to think through, to be honest. No, nothing to hide here. Whenever it's switched on, it appears on the map. But if they don't check the map and they go there assuming that it's on, it's like assuming that the store is open and going there, it'll be switched off. So they have to then open the map and find the next closest one. It will not work.
Okay.
So we
Yeah,
in
so it
our
won't.
communications, we keep letting them know.
Yeah, so essentially it just won't work, right? It's not just the discoverability, right? When you turn it off, right,
Yeah, it won't work.
yeah, from the public, right? It just won't work, right? So they'll get there,
Okay.
they'll try to charge it. Now, one thing that we can do, Mohan, that I'm sure our team is already thinking about, is in the app we can have like hours, right, listed for each station, right, for each
Yes.
host, right? So
Yes.
that's people who are going to frequently use the same charger, they can go and check that charger out, and then automatically it'll show, the hours that they're going to be available, right? If the host wants
Yes.
to set hours.
Yes, perfect. That's what we're doing. If it's a commercial location, like a mom and pop store, restaurant, or a drive-in, we are enabling the opening hours, so it's there. In fact,
Right.
some locations are even looking at just leaving it there overnight because it's a secure location. There's security, there's cameras, so they're happy to do it. But there are some locations which are closed after like 9 p.m. in some localities where they want to just not appear, so they can just turn it off. So we're making it optional for people to just add that details, but it will evolve over the next few months because we do keep taking feedback from the
All
community
right.
as well.
Excellent. Yeah, I was more so talking about it from a homeowner standpoint. Omer and I, well, I guess all of us really, are working with a gentleman over in Maryland that's installing it in his home. And so it's, a moderate traffic residential area. So I was just looking at it from the safety standpoint of, somebody knowing, they're in the neighborhood, even though they may have chosen it, previously, and they know it's there. And so what stops them from just going on when the person has actually turned it off? But I think you addressed it. You addressed the issue. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Aranda. That's a great question. One thing I also want to mention, and I see Pierre, I see your question as well. We'll get to that in a second here. One thing I also want to mention is that we're in the process of doing a complete rework and updating all of our. We have a host user guide, host manual, essentially a handbook, as well as an electrician and installer handbook, right? So for all the electricians out there, we have very detailed technical specifications, installation guides, checklists, etc. And those you'll be able to find those on DeCharge.us. Okay, so Pierre, I see your question. Funny question here. Does the Beast really have the smile animations that we see in the videos? So Mohan, I don't know if you want to answer that.
Yeah, I was smiling at that. So yes, the version actually has smileys, but the ones that we're deploying, it adds a little bit of cost. So right now, the ones that we're deploying do not have the smileys, but the area for the screen exists. Maybe the next campaign we add the screens as well. Right now, we're just trying to keep the costs low for the first set so that it deploys faster. But yeah, but the actual real charger with the smileys exists. Yes, that's the original. It's LED. It's a screen.
Yeah, definitely, Pierre. Definitely very attractive. Something that people love to see for sure. That
Actually,
will
just
keep
to
people
add on
coming
that,
back to.
Omri, something funny, but something really interesting to add to that because Pierre asked that question. All of our chargers come with some compute that's built into it. So what we were experimenting with, and the charger that you see on the video is actually an AI-enabled charger. So it is an AI agent and it has a personality. So we were running an experiment where we had 3 AI agents talking to each other to see how it works. And we figured that they were working really well in conjunction. They were talking to each other, sending referrals to each other. They were even getting referral payments from each other through saying, "Hey, I'm referring to you." In one instance, the one agent scanned the list of local restaurants, pizza shops, and made a list of emails that it could email to saying, "I'll give you a referral, like I'll give you a payment if you send me a user." They're actually that smart. A lot is going on in development, but the premise of having the screen was to show the personality there. So maybe when we go live with this product across, you'll see it everywhere.
Yeah, definitely agree. Yeah, Pierre's got some great comments in here. It's a great way to remember the charger. It's kind of like a little sort of a loyalty sort of thing, right? You know, everybody loves that kind of thing. And it really like, yeah, again, it really sticks in people's heads and minds. So yeah, that's why we did it. And yeah, we'll be rolling that out in the later versions as well, the next versions. So Angel had a couple questions as well. So this is a super interesting
That's a
question.
really
So
good question.
where do users go between charging? Do you recommend points of interest while their vehicles are being charged? That is brilliant. And I know that some of our chargers, like especially our super fast chargers, there's the capability of doing ads and whatnot. So I think that this is, and Mohan, you could speak a little bit more about, recommending points of interest and whatnot, while the vehicles are being charged in certain locations. What do you think about that, Mohan?
That's a fantastic question. And I think you're also thinking in the right direction. If you see our next app that we're releasing in a few weeks, what we're doing is when someone searches for a charger, we are giving them, they don't have to search, but depending on where they are, we are giving them tags that they can select. Like they can select grocery, they can select laundry, they can select food, they can select. So these are four options that they can select. And from the location where they are through GPS, our algorithm picks the closest charger that has the closest proximity to the ones that they have chosen. They can choose up to three options. So a user can probably click and say, okay, I want to go near the nearest cafe, right? Charger anyway is there, but they can choose where they want to go so that while this is charging, they can know what they're doing. So mall, cafe, store, there's the laundry, there are a few options. So they can choose they can filter that, go to the closest charger to it, and then probably walk. And then we're also showing like distance, right? We're saying 400, like when they say grocery, we're saying 300 meters from grocery, right? So you're actually thinking, right? That's exactly what we're building because we want it to be more intuitive on the app layer as an experience rather than just like a dumb place to go navigate and charge. So we actually thought this through many months ago, like a few months ago when we were rebuilding the entire app experience.
100%. Yeah. And Pierre saying that, just following up, that's great for promo codes and cross sales. Absolutely. And we have partnerships with other co-deployments and other products and whatnot. So yes, you're definitely thinking in the right direction here. We may need you to come on board with us
Yeah.
to help us shape the future here. Okay. So Angel also had another question here. Do any of your chargers offer bi-directional charging? So my understanding of bidirectional charging is, energy, power and data. So, you pull power, you can also pull data. But Mohan, maybe you want to speak a little bit more about this.
Yeah, I think this context is bidirectional, is vehicle to grid and grid to vehicle. That's what they're referring to. Right now, the chargers that we are doing, at least the base, does not have a vehicle to grid integration right now, because that requires an intermediary hardware, like other stuff that helps, like the inverter and all that pushes it back. Uh, but the fast chargers that we're deploying now, we're trying to build it as bidirectional because we are integrating a battery system in the middle. So to have bidirectional, you also need to have like a slightly more higher expense base. So because you need to have a battery, you need to have an inverter, then you need to have like this whole ecosystem. So right now it's just a plug and play charger, but we will evolve. We'll just introduce more. The tech exists. We have the tech, but we're not deploying that yet.
Okay, great. Okay, so last call. I think that's all the questions we have in the chat. Last call for questions. Feel free to put it in the chat or come off mute. Great questions today. Really appreciate everybody's participation here. Jackie, if you could just go back one slide so that we can show the QR code. Yeah, there we go. And the calls to action. So again, what to do next, right? Scan the QR code or just visit decharge.us. Fill out the host or installer form. So whether you're an interested host or you're an electrician interested in getting, hooked up with our network to take on some of these installation jobs. Of course, use the MDBA referral code. If you're ready to purchase a charger or lease a charger, use that MDBA referral code. You'll get a discount. And it'll help support the Maryland Blockchain Association, which we are all about. Just by filling out the host and installer form, you will be entered in to win a free Beast charger. So tell your friends, make sure you fill out that interest form. Again, no commitment here. This is just, showing your interest as to whether or not you want to be a host or an installer. Fill that out, sign up before September 19th. Tell your friends, tell anybody that's interested, fill it out before September 19th for a chance to win a free Beast charger. And then the next step after that, right? If unluckily, you don't win the charger, right, is to buy or lease a charger again on DeCharge.us, and then get it set up. Easy process. Start earning with every charge. So again, feel free to scan that QR code, take a photo of it maybe for later to show your friends, anybody that's interested. And of course, you can just go to DeCharge.us. And one last thing also, and again, if you have any questions, any last minute questions, feel free to put in the chat. We still have 5 minutes. But before we go, I just want to reiterate here that FJ, Farin, has put her email in the chat. And Farin, FJ, you can throw that in there again one more time. Anyone that wants to connect, ask any questions, just chat about the product, or follow up, feel free to reach out to FJ. Again, amazing hands you'll be in with FJ. She's incredibly personable. She'll help answer all your questions, walk through anything that you have. So if you just want to connect right off the bat, just go ahead and email FJ. But yeah, highly recommend filling out that the interest form, whether or not you want to be a host or an electrician, so that you can get entered into the raffle for the free Beast Level 2 charger. Again, we're going to be announcing that on September 19th. And I'm not seeing any additional questions in the chat, which is good because we're coming up on time here. So I just want to thank Jackie for hosting this event. Thank Mohan, FJ, Gil, everybody for attending, all the electricians out there that are interested in being part of our network, learning more, everybody that's interested in possibly becoming a host and earning off of hosting a charger. Again, this is a very community-owned, community-driven operation here. This is a network that we're building across the globe and here in the United States now, and we very much want you to be a part of it. So again, thank you everybody for taking the time out of your day. I know it's Friday, and depending on where you are in the United States, it could be Friday late afternoon, right? So again, really appreciate everybody taking the time out. This will be recorded. We'll share the recording. And again, thanks a lot, Jackie, Mohan, everybody else, and enjoy your weekend.
I definitely want to thank everyone who's been here, and thank you, Mohan, for what you're doing with DeCharge, and Omri and everyone else on the team. And definitely, visit the Maryland Blockchain Association's website, because we are going to be hosting other events for DeCharge, as well as our other members who are all within the blockchain space. And this is a great way to learn how you can be part of this. And it's an exciting time that we live in. So everyone, thank you for being on. And definitely register to have your machine, your DeCharge machine for sure. So everyone, thank you and have a great day.
Thanks. Take care, everyone.